is the number. I have a very, 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 can I say very enough? Very, very special guest because this is, well, I guess I can say because you've been with me from the start. 1MKE, I have the pleasure of having Miss Maddie Day.
Hello.
In studio. How are you?
I'm doing really good.
And so 1MKE is a proud sponsor of Truth Summit. And, you know, when I heard about it year one, you know, yeah, they want to be here. And I don't even think you all were thought about in the beginning. And then all of a sudden somebody said, yeah, well, 1MKE wants to come in and, you know, they want a table. I was like, that's great. Cool. But 1MKE said, can they do some other stuff and get some stuff away? And I was like, well, okay, absolutely. But 1MKE said, can they just sponsor it? I was like, absolutely. And then I went to the table and I looked at some of the things you do and some of the powerful inroads you've made into the city of Milwaukee. So what I want you to do is first tell everybody, what is 1MKE?
Yeah, so 1MKE is all about building civic engagement in the city of Milwaukee. That can sound really vague, I feel like, a lot of times. So we're trying to say that it's connecting people to resources and benefits that they could use to benefit their lives. It's connecting people to their community, and it's also connecting people to their local government. So not just getting people out to vote during election times, but also making sure you know your alderperson, making sure you know when your city budget hearing is, which is just coming up and now is in the talks right now. Making sure you know who to talk to when you have a problem. Really being like aware that the city's here to work for you. So you got to tell them what's going on in order for them to help you.
So when you say the city is here to work for us, what's the connection? Because you're other than 911. You're pretty much the 1-1 for everything in the city of Milwaukee. Are you a nonprofit or are you a city agency? Because it sounds like you're kind of on both sides of the aisle.
Yeah. So technically we're a coalition. So it's kind of weird, but we're technically nothing. We're not a for-profit. We're not a nonprofit.
Okay.
We're not a government agency. We're a group of local businesses and nonprofits and government agencies in the city that want to see more people get connected, like I said, with all those things before, then more civically engaged.
And so if I have an issue and I don't know what to do with it, or I just don't know where to start, I could come to 1MKE because that's where you can point me in the direction I need to be. But it kind of sounds like I can send you where you need to go.
Yeah, so there's a couple of ways that 1MKE works. You know, we're still very new, so I like to say we're in like our learning and growing phase. We're trying to talk to as many nonprofit organizations and learn about as much of the city as possible to then bring back to residents and be like, okay, we're not gonna. I always say we're not gonna help. We're not gonna run a food pantry, but we can show you 5 different food pantries in the area that you can go to. So we're trying to find as many of those resources to let residents know. We also would just love to shout out, because we're working with the city, that there is 211 and there is a City of Milwaukee mobile action app, and a city phone number. So all 3 of those you can technically call as well if you're having some immediate problems. Our website, we have our listing a bunch of these services and all of the partners that we were working with. So if you just want to like peruse, less, emergency focus, less immediate focus, if you're like, I think I'm going to be needing some more support with childcare soon. We'll be working on listing all of those resources in the city that are related to childcare.
And so you work with partisan, nonpartisan, you work with political, you work with churches, synagogues. You pretty much take any resource and you can direct somebody to something that they want.
So we're strictly nonpartisan.
Well, I mean,
but that's
I just meant in terms of
our biggest thing is like if we're promoting
you're not political.
Yes, not political, not partisan. We want to get the information out there. If we work with one political party, we got to work with every single political party as well. And so we want to be as straightforward as what is information to help Milwaukee citizens.
Right.
When it comes to a lot of that political stuff, we're specifically talking about, do you know what's on your ballot? Do you know where to go vote? Do you know if you're registered? Here's any problems you might come up and how to fix those. But other than that, yeah, any organization that's in Milwaukee that's helping people, if you don't know, or if you are not getting a lot of traction on a program, or you don't know, a lot of people don't know about your services, we want to get that word out for you and let people know that they can go to them.
So you're more about the what and not the who.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
I would say
so-
showing off all the different things.
So if I come to you, you're not going to say, go to this daycare. You're going to say, here are 5 daycare centers.
Yeah. And we can be like, what neighborhood
zip
are
code
you
you're in,
in?
or is it-
Yeah.
okay,
These are
okay.
close by. We can say, these are ones that we have worked with.
Yeah.
Pretty much all of our partners. We're building
Wow.
relationships with them, just as our team of 5. So there's going to be, we can say, look, Hausa on the south side is doing really great work with their 24/7 childcare program. Like we know them, we've worked with them. We know that they're a good person to turn to, something like that.
So then what's been your toughest nut to crack?
Like a topic, like a
Well,
issue in Milwaukee?
Just you. Like, we're 1MKE and we've done all these things. We've got all these resources, but that.
Yeah. I'd say one of the biggest things right now is just how new we are, which is really exciting because there's so many opportunities. And so it's just figuring out what should we be doing that will best help people get more involved. I think another big issue that we're facing is, I was just talking about this with your team too, about how siloed Milwaukee can be. A lot of people.
That's a new word for it.
A lot of people like their community, they like their group,
right.
and that can be government likes their group, nonprofits like their group, residents like their group.
Right.
They don't always want to go out of that group and learn more information or tell people about information they're providing. And sometimes they are trying to do that and they just don't know how to get out of their silo. They don't know how to tell more than the 10 people who are actively following them about this new service they're providing or this new program that they can take advantage of. So that's kind of like a bigger overarching problem that I've been seeing.
Okay.
That I think we're really trying to, as 1MKE, be the space that people can go to talk about these resources, to find out this information, and to, we want to be that space where the professionals can really talk about it.
It sounds like you're that space, but you're also the bridge as well, because the organizations can go from organization to organization.
Yeah. That's a big thing we've been doing too.
So then what can people do to help you? Like, do you take donations or do you take volunteers, or how's that work?
Yeah, volunteers. We're always taking volunteers. Not as much now because summertime is event time and program time, but still throughout the year we are going out, we're tabling, we're talking to residents, and volunteers helps so much with doing that. Especially next year, there's going to be 4 elections in the city, one in February, one in April, one in August, and one in November, I believe. And so we're going to need some help like some volunteers telling people about all of these elections that are going on. Though that's a really huge thing. But I think the other thing is really just to follow along with us, share information with people, talk to family and friends, follow us on social media, connect with our newsletter, and tell us if you see us out in the community. Tell us what issues you've been seeing. What ways do you think we could be helping more? We're really based on that community feedback, and so as much of that as possible, we'd love.
Okay, so you've been doing this for how long?
About a year and a half.
All right, so it's a year and a half. So that's 24. It's 2033. It's been 10 years, and 1MKE's been here for 10 years. What do you want it to look like?
So a big kind of lofty goal that is ever moving. We'll see if it ends up being one of our top goals still. But I would love to see an office of civic engagement in the city of Milwaukee.
Okay.
Other cities, big cities, have this, and they're doing a lot of the work that we're doing of running engaging events and programming to get residents more involved, making things really clear and legible about how residents should get involved. And so I think to have that as a staple in Milwaukee would be a really huge supportive thing. And like have it be an office that's backed by the city. Would be fantastic.
I would ask you one more question, but I'm going to ask, can you hang for another segment?
Yeah.
Excellent. Mandy Day from 1MKE, who is our proud sponsor of the first and second annual Truth Summit. She'll be there November 15th. She's going to be there the entire time. She doesn't know it yet, but I'm going to interview her that day.
Oh.
Oops, I think I just told her. We're going to definitely talk to her on the radio and push a lot of things that you're doing. And I think it's great. And so if you have any questions, you can go to 1mke.org or you can call on the talk and text line, 833-212-1017. Can you take some calls if they call?
Sure. Yeah.
Answer some texts.
Why not?
We're on YouTube. We're on all that. We're on all the social media you're on. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. The countdown is not, did I say that right? The countdown? The countdown. Anyway, the countdown is on for the second annual Truth Summit happening Saturday, November 15th, 10 a.m. till 1 p.m. at Thrive on King. It's a free in-person event that brings together bold voices and sharp minds to tackle Milwaukee's biggest problems. For me, that means healthcare disparities all the way to fixing our broken education pipeline. I'll be leading the charge with experts and having real talk. You don't want to miss it. Lock in your seat right now. Go to 1017thetruthsummit.com. That's 1017thetruthsummit.com. Presented by 1MKE and Thrive on King. Speaking of 1MKE, Maddie Day is here from 1MKE. You seem to have fallen into a space where there's a significant gap in just one place to go for events, one place to go to find help, one place to go. Like I'm scrolling through your website at 1mke.org, and you've got, like, I'm not at the end yet. I'm like, you've got events, you've got places you want to go, you've got Civic Buzz coming up in October. You got this great thing on the 15th called the Truth Summit, and I know you're going to be talking to me that day. But what can you tell people when it really comes down to the whole reason for this, you said, is for civic engagement? What is your definition of that? Because we hear it a lot, and people talk about, interacting with the city, interacting with nonprofits and communities and coming together. But what does that mean for you?
Yeah. I kind of struggled with it too when I first started. Like, it's something you hear so often, and I feel like most people just think of civic engagement means go vote. That's kind of the end of it.
Okay.
And that's really important.
Right.
Definitely go vote.
But if you're going to be nonpartisan, you can't just stay stuck on the vote.
We want you to go vote. We don't care about who you vote for. We just want you to go vote. That's what we always say. Right. But civic engagement, we believe, should be a year-long thing. And it shouldn't just happen every 4 years during a national election. Civic engagement can mean getting closer and more connected to your community. So like we said, talking about different nonprofits, different resources that are available in the city, getting connected with those, getting to know your neighbors more and being able to look out for your neighbors, building that knowledge. So if you or your neighbor is in some kind of issue, you're like, here's a bunch of places that you can go to help support them. Civic engagement is also getting connected to your local government, which is where the voting comes in, but it shouldn't just end there. It should also be going to city budget hearings. It should be talking to your alderperson, like knowing their name, shaking their hand.
Imagine that.
Yeah, going to having them be at events or knowing where their office is. It should be going to knowing what representative is responsible for what. I feel like a lot of representatives will get things that are national focused, or come down on a national level and you're talking to your local alderperson about something to do with, the voter rights, and they're like, my hands are tied. That's not what I do specifically. Right. Or like, but if you have a problem with your local parks, let's talk about that, with a county representative. So figuring out, just learning more about what is all going on, getting more leadership in yourself, building that confidence so you can go out and you can help others. You can help yourself as well. And then building that community, making sure you have a sense of belonging, and that you care for one another. That really all falls under civic engagement.
Okay, so, and this is one of the reasons why I wanted you to stay an extra segment. And I'm going to keep you a couple more minutes. So I just moved to Milwaukee. It's
Welcome.
October 15th, 2025. I got a job at Northwestern Mutual, and now I've been working like a month, and now I'm getting settled, and I have a house, and I have a car, and I got all this stuff, but I have no idea where am I? I don't even know the name of the neighborhood I live in, right? I'm going to come to 1MKE, and you're going to tell me what?
I think some of the biggest things, find out what neighborhood you're in. I think that's a big thing. Because then
now in Milwaukee, why is that important?
I feel, a lot of people call Milwaukee a city of neighborhoods. I also think that you have a lot of pride a lot of times in your neighborhood. And the hope is that we're increasing that pride in the neighborhoods.
Okay.
We don't want to just help people try and fix the problem. We also want to help increase pride, that they're proud of the neighborhood that they're from. And so I think finding out your neighborhood would also be a really big thing, because a lot of times there's Friends of the Parks organizations, there's business improvement districts, neighborhood improvement districts, neighborhood associations that you can get involved in, that at the very least, if you go to their website, they will have information about, some have information about local grants for the exterior of your home renovation. Yeah. Some have information about the local schools and, education activities that are happening. Some will talk about different events, that there's just event-specific, neighborhood-specific events going on. All of these are a really good way to help get involved on that hyper-local level.
So what can I do about family? So it's a year later, and now, we've got, I forget what they call it, the sandwich generation, where I got young kids, and grandma and grandpa just moved in. I got the in-laws, and now I'm here. Can 1MKE help me find resources for something like that, or at least point me in a direction? Yeah,
like I kind of said, we want to be the one that points you in the direction to something. So we table at events. Our kind of big thing is that we're trying to get in touch with residents, but we don't want to do it in the traditional canvassing way where people go door to door and
get
talk to
another piece of mail.
Yeah. We try to go to those third spaces. A lot of concert in the parks, a lot of grocery stores, things like that, where we can meet and talk to people a little more real. And we come with binders that are 4 inches thick, probably, that are just filled with flyers from local organizations. So we have things about senior care and senior support. We have things about applying for Medicaid. We also have things about, different preschools, after-school camps, summer camps. We, whether it's a financial thing that you want support on, whether it's what do I do with all these people in my house now? Where do they go? How can they be entertained? We want to try and provide events and programs and things like that. But like I said, it's really just telling people about what already exists. That's our biggest thing.
Okay. So 10 years from now, I should be able to call you, and you should be able to tell me where I can go to
That's the hope. Yeah.
To a senior daycare somewhere.
Sure.
We're talking to Maddie Daly. She's what is your title? Grand Poobah of
program
one,
director.
She is the one at 1MKE. How's that? She's the one.
Well, I appreciate that.
All right. At 1MKE, you can go to 1mke.org. They will be a proud sponsor of Truth Summit. So you need to sign up, come see Maddie, and she's going to talk. She's going to be on the radio that day, and she'll be talking about all the resources she has and things you can find.
Could I also give a quick shout out
Absolutely.
for a program that we're starting up? So we are going to be doing neighborhood task forces. They're going to be in 4 neighborhoods that we're working in, which is Washington Park, Washington Heights, Clark Square, and Walker's Point.
Okay.
If you're living in any of these neighborhoods, we want you to join a task force. So you will meet once a month for the first 6 months of 2026 to try and complete a project or solve a problem that will pop up in one of these 4 neighborhoods. For actually the week before the Truth Summit.
Okay.
So you can have a full week of community engagement and empowerment. Wow. We were going to have listening sessions in each of these 4 neighborhoods where we want the community to really show out. And we want to hear from these neighbors in these 4 neighborhoods what is something they want to see. Like I said, it could be pride. It could be creating a mural. It could be a problem that they want to solve. It could be, the constraints are that we want to have it done in 6 months, and we want it to be done by neighbors, and have the idea come from neighbors as well. So if you're in any of these 4 neighborhoods, please go to 1mke.org. There's going to be a little survey. You can sign up, and please stay in touch. So
I have to come. I got to give you the idea, which means I got to give you something simple because then I have to do it. Wow. If someone wants to make a donation, how do they do that?
So we're not accepting donations right now, actually.
Okay.
I think we're going to get that up on our website soon. We would love to have more donations. But I think the biggest thing would probably be reach out to the Milwaukee Public Library. They work with us a lot. If you'd like to give a donation, they are a great organization to give a donation to. So
I can go to the Milwaukee Public Library Foundation and then say, I want this to go to 1MKE for their resource work and their community work.
Yes.
Wow, that's great. Well, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Maddie Daly, she is the program director for 1MKE. You'll see her on Saturday, November 15th. And you'll hear her Saturday, November 15th, because she will be on the radio. She don't know that yet, but she's going to be on the radio with me. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. This was a great time.